Well, you know what they say. I guess sewing dreams really do come true. Do they actually say that? Maybe I'm just saying that today. But seriously, my vision came to life, and I'm here to just tell you all about it today. If you're a fellow sewist or creative who also gets a vision or inspiration stuck in your head that just lives rent-free for months upon months, maybe even years, welcome! You're in the right spot. I'm Rachel Ann, and this is Dine in Creativity. I had to pay homage today in a very quick video to this coat, talking about it months upon months ago, and finally got it done. Stayed with me for such a long time. So, of course, when I had gone thrifting months ago, back when I lived in California, I had found some sherpa fabric that immediately I knew would be absolutely perfect for this fully upcycled denim dream 1970s inspired jacket. You also may remember that this pattern, which is Brittany Jones' Know Me 2132, loved it. It is so much fun to sew up, so much fun to work with. I believe it's rated average. I'll correct it on the screen if I'm wrong, but I think it's rated average, and I would agree with that. I'm going to just go step by step because once I start talking, I am liable to really get off track. Last but not least, before I start my newest series in my next video, this video is basically my farewell to winter sewing 2025, early 2026. I may sew a couple one-off pieces here and there that are of the winter variety, but my focus is shifting to spring and summer, and I am just so excited to share what I've been working on over here. You can see my stack of patterns behind me. I'm batch cutting out some patterns. But for now, let's get to the jacket. Let's start from the beginning here. This project using the Know Me 2132 pattern initially was started when I first moved to Maryland. However, I quickly realized in working with the pattern that it may be a little too much to take on. So of course my rationale is to create a 5-piece winter capsule collection. So I did that instead, got back in the sewing, grind, so to speak, the creative flow, and knew it was time to start working with these different pairs of jeans that I literally would not let my husband donate. Moved them across the country in an old donation bag, had two pair of skinny jeans that I donated to the cause. The main things about working with this pattern and making the vision come to life, this was pretty non-negotiable in that I had to have a thigh length jacket, a thigh length coat. So immediately I measured out where on my body I wanted it to hit and started working with a different pair of denim that I had. Realized that some of the pieces, so I also had originally thought I would just do a patchwork style coat. However, all of the washes on these 4 different pair of denim jeans were very similar. So I scrapped that idea. I said, let me not fix what isn't broken and just go with the denim kind of flow that I have right now. And lo and behold, just used actually my husband's pair of jeans that I took for the front and the back of this jacket. It was really fun because once I got the back piece cut out, it just snapped. I said, oh, this is going to work. This is actually going to work out really well. And so I just kept kind of going to town with that. And, that's always an exciting part of creating when your vision starts coming to life and you're enjoying what you're seeing. So back to the Sherpa thrifted fabric. Now, I'm fairly certain that this fabric was very vintage. However, it was still in great condition, but I used it for the collar, loved how it turned out. The major modification I made to this Know Me 2132 pattern was the length extension. However, I also extended the sides of it, which was a little bit risky. When you do any kind of pattern mods, you always wonder, is it going to turn out? But in my mind, I knew it was going to turn out and I was going to make it happen. So I flared it out at the bottoms because my vision was when I tied it with the tie belt, it would flare out. I wanted that silhouette kind of A-line flare at the bottom. The other thing that I did was omit the zipper from this pattern, and kind of regretfully, I also omitted the pockets. I think I was just overall a tad bit nervous to continue to make all these different tweaks. So I decided to just streamline everything. Looking back now, that is one regret in this project. I'm just going to keep it real with you on the creation of this project. But next time the pockets are going to happen. I serged every single possible piece of this project and really enjoyed using the serger. At one point, I thought that little serger was going to combust into flames. I mean, I put these machines through the ringer. I am ready, brother, for you to come and reach out to me. I will be your spokeswoman because these machines have been amazing. That both the XM2701, my actual sewing machine, but then also my 1034D serger. They are not marketed as heavy duty, but I treat them as such, if I'm being honest. So they did great throughout this process. I did run into a slight bit of trouble when it came to the collar situation. Somehow the facing on the interior collar, I guess I sewed it on incorrectly. So rather than rip it out, I basically just double-sided it, which added an extra warmth. I quickly realized when I was sewing this up, if I were still living in California, the jacket would be perfect unlined. It would be just the right amount of weight. But now I'm living in weather where I think today was 11 degrees. It felt like 2 degrees when I first took my dog out this morning, and it is cold. And so I knew I needed to fully line it. So I chose actually some thrifted plaid flannel fabric, which really has created a very durable, sturdy, and warm coat. Along with that sherpa, this thing feels like it could survive an apocalypse, truly. So I mentioned my first regret. This is kind of my second regret, but honestly, I am so at peace with it. The one thing I did is, when you put your arm into a jacket and it makes your sleeve bunch up, I did not want that to happen. So I actually lined it with the sleeves only with this silky fabric so that now when I put it on and then take it off, it does not give me any issues. My arm just slides right out. This is the regret is okay, let me just explain this really quick. I did something when working with this jacket I have truly and honestly never done before. I was so excited to see the jacket come together. I completely finished the bottom of it. I'm talking the Sherpa trim, all of that good stuff, the lining sewn in perfectly, immaculately done, complete. And then I waited to put the sleeves on as one of the last steps. Now, there is a vital reason why you're not supposed to do that because you have to get up in the jacket to be able to sew those sleeves on. So I had to get a little bit creative. And so instead of having the silky fabric on the outside covering the stitch line, I ended up just having to sew and treat the fabric as one and sew them together in one fell swoop. I also had to take it in some here. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because we all have these little wonky sewing mishaps that happen. And why not just talk about it? I love talking about sewing. I find it to be so much fun. Uh-oh, what is that? Okay, well, I'll trim that. But yeah, here is the lining. I did the stitch in the ditch method, so you can't even see it from the exterior, which I was very happy with. The little sherpa on the end. Just all the little details that really make a garment feel like your own and feel extra special. The instructions to me were very clear with this jacket. I think you could do so much with this cute little jacket pattern. I mean, it really, like I said before, I'm just so grateful that this pattern came out because it is so cute, whether you modify it or I can even imagine sewing it up as is. And there you have the cutest little winter fall coat. I just self-drafted the ties, measured how long I wanted them to be, and then added some fun little details. I wanted everything to be Sherpa lined. And so of course I did a little Sherpa poof border on the ends of both of those ties. To make the little belt loops on the waist of the coat, I also reused already intact belt loops from a couple pair of the jeans that I was, upcycling. So that was just a fun little added detail. And it's so funny when I sew certain things up when they work. It's just like, oh my gosh, you get so excited. Now, the thing to keep in mind if you decide to sew up this coat is it is a dropped shoulder and it's to give kind of that relaxed, comfy vibe, which I love. However, when I sewed it up and I had fully attached the sleeve to the jacket body, it did not look good in terms of the two clashing styles. It was like relaxed vibe up top and then more tailored vibe at the bottom. So I took a major risk and just went to town and hacked what would be what should be the sleeve. I did no filming during that part. I was in deep focus concentration mode. What I will share is a personal anecdote that the sleeves of this coat are from a pair of skinny jeans from that literally got me through my 20s. Oh my gosh, if clothing could talk, I'm sure it would have so much to say. But now it's just such a fun reminder and way to kind of keep those jeans alive. I hadn't worn them in years. I think they were probably a smidge too tight. I mean, I could still get into them, but they were not comfortable. So now they have been totally repurposed into the sleeves of this beautiful jacket. And so with that, the project fully came alive. I am so glad I finally made time to do that. Honestly, kind of had to work myself up into doing this project. I worked on it the entire weekend that it snowed here in Maryland. So it was a perfect indoor project to kind of keep me grounded with sewing, provide some new challenges, some new pattern modifications, and also finally cross off a project that has been sitting on my mental sewing to-do list for so long. I had recently seen that denim is oftentimes the most under-purchased item at a thrift store, or it kind of sits there, for the longest, takes up space, or is turned away. And so I thought, instead of contributing to more jeans just sitting at the thrift store, let me use what I already have. And so it was really fun to kind of challenge myself to use all of the items that I already had on hand, use as much of those denim pieces as I could, as well as finally use that sherpa fabric that I had found, at the California thrift store. So there's a little piece of California on that coat, which brings me some joy. I always feel like clothing has a story to tell, and it's very sentimental. At least to me, it feels sentimental. So to truly be able to craft these special pieces like that you worked so long on is a great thing. Just feels overall really good. I hope you enjoyed this short little cutie video today. Nothing too major. Just wanted to wrap up my winter sewing season. And like I said, I will be back very soon with kind of the full play-by-play of a spring capsule collection. Not even a capsule, okay? It's just the flat out spring collection, but there are some major themes throughout it, fabric types, fun patterns, fun personal challenges that maybe will be inspiring or motivating to you if you also want to sew up some new things for spring. But either way, thank you so much for being here. You are so appreciated. Thanks again for watching. Hope you're taking great care of yourself. Happy sewing and creating, and be well.